Hello Pisces, this is your extended reading. So here the extended is exactly the continuation from the first part that we already saw that you are a little bit nervous or you are trying to please so much your guests that you have invited into your home, into your sacred space. And maybe you're worrying too much that you're going to pass this image of being unprepared or being unexperienced or being like immature to have this sort of independence, or it's almost like you're trying to prove that you have, well, not try to prove, it's almost like you want to give your guests the best experience, and along with that you want to show them that you can have your own space, that your grounds are safe and solid and you are good in keeping it that way, in keeping yourself grounded. Because we begin with this page, and it's the Page of Wands, and this is the reason why I feel like you are, well, you know that it is going to get busy, it is going to get crowded, things are going to be out of routine, or it's something that is like it's like these guests coming, they are bringing so much energy, and maybe you want to also give the image that you can provide for yourself, right? If these are your parents that we're talking about especially, but even if it's, for a potential partner, I feel like somehow with all of the wands here and this card initiating the extended being the page, there is a lot of desire to pass on this image of self-sufficiency maybe, or just sustainability, right? Like that you are able to take care of yourself, but carrying a lot of worry, a lot of concern, because like it's not that it is big, it's like there's a lot of moving parts, or there are many different energies, right? If we're talking about like relatives coming to visit your home for the first time, right? It's just an example obviously, but there is this preoccupation from you Pisces that you don't you replace this sense that maybe you are feeling yourself that could be picked up on, right? But wanting to pass the image of grounded instead of naive or immature, right? And I feel like somehow there's a lot going on in your head. There's a lot of overthinking. Remember that we already saw the Nine of Swords in the first part. And here, there are more swords coming after you. Maybe you are underestimating yourself really, and that's the reason why you're overdoing, why you're overthinking. So we have the Seven of Swords and then the Five of Swords, which is actually a similar dynamic that played out in the Aquarius extended, but in their reading it happened with the Pentacle suits. It was the Seven of Pentacles and the Five of Pentacles, and it was talking about like being given a set of options but picking one, and really understanding afterwards that you, by choosing one of the options, you were not denying others, or you were not like preventing yourself from choosing the remaining options afterwards, right? So but this is all up in your head. This is the clear distinction from the Aquarius reading, Pisces. And I feel like somehow it's almost like you're being, maybe you feel like you have to resolve all of the issues on your own, because maybe what you're trying to prove, or the image that you're trying to prove by going back to the basics, is that you can you can sustain this simple life, but one that you can manage, right? So maybe we're talking about decluttering your space, but what is going on once they are there is that maybe the overthinking or the clutter in your mind is still there. And I know, this is a personal experience that, once I really organize my room, I feel like I organize my mind in a sense. It's almost like a simultaneous process, right? Or something that is just a natural consequence, or vice versa, right? If my mind is clear, then I just have all of the clarity and all of the peace to really feel like I need a really neat space. But I feel like for you, this is not just for your own self organization or your own sense of peace, internal peace. I feel like you are receiving guests, really meaningful guests, because these are people that you care about and that care about you and that are part of your family or part of your future family, that you really want to pass on this image that you can deal with it, that you can manage your own household. But with these two swords, and coming from the message that was in the Aquarius reading about, it's like simplify your thoughts and try to piece them in a way that you don't have to think or worry about all of the things at once, right? It's almost like here are like all of the lists, all of the things in the list that you were worrying about, like, food and drinks and house and the mess that you have to clean, and if they are sleeping over, all of the bed sheets and all of the things, right? It's like, if this is the ever growing to-do list that is like really piling up your thoughts and making you feel like there is a clutter in your mind, with the Five of Swords coming next, there's a lot of help in a sense of just simplify this list. Well, this is coming through as like checking off an item of this list, right? But it's like this mental list of worries, right? So know that going one by one and simplifying it will help to ease this feeling of unpreparedness, right? Or of immaturity, that you don't want to pass on this image at all. So don't worry. And most of all, with the Judgment card coming next, which actually was the card that initiated the Aquarius reading, but here is talking, like, it has a completely different message. Here, this is talking about like, it's almost like take control over your mind, right? Instead of being flooded with worries or with to-do lists that you have to just cross them off your list, your mental list. Yes, do so. And once you cross it, like really delete it from your mind and skip judgment, right? This is talking about one of the things that you really have to cross from your list. And I feel like it's the most important because it's a major arcana, in comparison to the tiny little things that, like the details of, receiving guests. Yes, there are practical things. Yes, you are being very meticulous. You are doing everything on the practical side, but mentally, the thing that is most important that you have to cross first is judgment, self-judgment, right? This is what this judgment is talking about. Once you cross self-judgment and you stop seeing yourself as immature, none of them are going to see this, right? These people that are coming to visit you, they're not going to perceive you as a child or as an immature adult, right? And most of all, once you feel like you have crossed the main item that is bringing you this immense concern, right? Because it's like, maybe you are fearing that they are going to judge you if well, there is a message of wanting everything to be neat, but also here is more than that, is like spotless. It's almost like you cannot let anything go wrong, right? And this can be exhausting, especially if there is this concern of maybe you are judging yourself for the fear of, you know, maybe expecting that they are going to judge you once they see your place for the first time. So just, you know, cross that self-judgment and cross the fear of being judged by these people, because they just love you and they care for you and they are happy to see you. It's almost like they are happy and honored that you have invited them to your sacred space, right? It doesn't matter really how big it is or how organized it is. It's like they are just, you know, the king and the queen of cups, right? So after this judgment here, so this is interesting. We go from the 5 to the 6, right? But we had the 7 first. So in crossing this main thing, which is, you know, this mental, internal judgment, right? From your list or from your concern list, let's say, you are achieving something greater than just lessen or just lower the volume of your minds, of your critical internal voice, and you're moving on. With the 6 of Swords here, it's like it's still this work in your mind, right? But now it flows. Now you can go on with your list. It's almost like here with the 7 and the 5, it's like you were ticking things off your list, of your practical list, but your concern was still there. So you were still overthinking, and it felt like you were not having any progress at all. But when you figure out that the main thing that you have to cut off your list is this self-judgment, then things get lined up. So it's almost like you are not overthinking anymore. It's like you're just doing in a very automatic kind of way. Does it make sense? And I feel like this is what is really going to help you to aim for the spotlessness that you were trying to get to, right? So the 6 of Swords being followed by the star, this star was talking, well, it came through with the word spotless, right? So it's almost like I can see, you know, if you were trying to make some sort of object in your house, it's like you were cleaning and cleaning and cleaning and cleaning so that it would be like sparkling, you know, with, it's almost like, you know, those kinds of representations in cartoons or, you know, movies where everything is so tidied and so clean, that is like with those shimmering spots, right, in the objects. So this is what I'm seeing with the star. It's like it is clean, it is done. It's like you managed to make your space spotless in a way that is grand, in a way that is perceived, in a way that is almost like awe-striking, right? And you managed to do so because you crossed that main item from your list of overthinking or of tasks that you just put in your to-do list, so that you, it's almost like you wanted to pass on this message of perfect, like of being perfect, of being able and capable of managing your own life, of managing your own space. And because we're ending here with this beautiful 4, I feel like somehow this is like the first reaction, or the first it's almost like, remember when I was talking about the King of Cups, of like them being this visitor that is just observing and taking in the space, or just, you know, greeting you, or it's almost like all of the overthinking was on your part, Pisces, because you, it's like this is your home, right? So And you know, home to me has just such a personal symbolism that it doesn't really need to be your physical home. It's like your like a personal space or your intimate space, your intimacy, right? That they are connecting to, that they are feeling it, that they are creating this sense of shared intimacy, right? Because you have allowed them in. And so when we finish with the Four of Cups, this is almost like, you know, coming back to the beginning, right? When you began this reading with the Four of Pentacles, it's like you were doing everything that was, you know, at your disposal, you know, practically speaking, to take care of everything in your physical space, right? In terms of taking care of the dishes or, you know, the food or whatever it is. It really doesn't matter. Just, it's like practical chores, right? And needing up, really organizing your physical space to show how grounded you are and how capable of managing the basics of your life you are, right? But here, with after you achieve this spotlessness, it's almost like when you cross over that thing that was really cluttering your mind, right? And things start to move and things start to get done even more easily, I have to say, with the star. It's almost like you had this North Star guiding you, right? And the guiding was, the guidance was like, it's almost like aiming for perfection or aiming for flawless environment, right? Or spotless room. You achieve that. And so the way that your work, in a sense, is perceived, or the amount of time and dedication that you have put into your space is picked up, right? It's almost like they are analyzing everything. They are just taking it in. They are going to every little corner, and they are seeing the amount of love that you have put into it, right? And cleaning and organizing and preparing the space, right? It's like the love is perceivable, and they are seeing it. They are feeling it. They are pointing it out, right? And they are feeling at home, right? They are feeling the sacredness of this space, which is so good, because at the end here we have at the bottom of the deck this beautiful Temperance, which was looking like a beautiful shared glass of wine, right? It's like, this is the moment to celebrate. This is the moment to finally, you know, let go of all of the worry, let go of all of the, you know, just tidying up and working in the house or doing the prepping. Like, this is the time to enjoy, right? Enjoy the visitors, enjoy your guests, and enjoy just the evening, right? With people that have come to share the water, share all of the love, right? Because they see it. They see how much of love you have put into it. And so it's almost like you are sharing your space, they are sharing their love, you are sharing a good wine. This is so beautiful, Pisces. I just really, really love it. So let's see what the astrological runes have to add as a final guidance for you. This is so gorgeous. Okay, so the rune that came through is the Sun. And actually, this is taking me back to the Aquarius reading, and this is where I feel like they linked together, because the Sun in the Aquarius reading was the card that was talking about, fulfilling your potential and finding your singularity, finding your individual full potential. It's like in finding, and it's like embodying your own personality, your ego. It's like, this is the only way that you can shine your own unique light. This was the message for Aquarius. And I feel like this somehow is you doing it. It's you expressing it, is you shining your light, Pisces. So yeah, this is really beautiful because I felt like the entire reading was really, you know, it had nothing to do with the Aquarius, but here at the end with this rune being the final guidance, I feel like, you know, whatever you're doing that feels like it's like a nitty-gritty thing, or it's a very small detail of your life, right? You're just receiving guests over for dinner or whatever it is. But this, well, we have, after all, the star here, right? So aiming for your space to be spotless is the ultimate way for you to shine your light, right? And it is being perceived, it is being picked up upon. So your light will be seen. Your brightness will light up the place, will light up the mood. And they will see, they will see you, you know, whoever you're receiving, they will see your light come through. So I am really happy for you, Pisces. Thank you so much for being here with me. I hope this was insightful, and I'll see you next time. Okay, bye.